Another 6-1 vote. Wow. Tune in.
I am all for democracy. So
Councillor,
my question
Councillor?
is, yes, sir.
I'm going
Mr. Mayor.
to remind you of our bylaw, procedural bylaw 2409. A maximum of 5 minutes shall be allotted to each member wishing to speak to present their position on the motion. You're now at minute 12.
Well, I am asking questions though.
You've passed well over the question period, and you're now into the debate. So I'm going to ask you to wrap up.
Okay, so I'm still in a question period
I'm
because
going
I
to
have
ask
questions.
you to wrap up. You've entered into debate on a number of occasions, even with staff. So I'm going to ask you to wrap up.
Well, no, these are questions I'm asking of
ask you
staff.
to wrap up.
So this report also speaks to removing attendees' rights to record or take photographs at the committee or at council meetings. And in June 2023, this council voted to afford these rights to the people based on a scan of the other municipalities that also allowed meetings on the recording to the public. The city alleges that they have received feedback from meeting attendees that they feel intimidated by individuals recording the meeting due to uncertainty of how the footage may be used. My question is, how many attendees have actually voiced their concerns? Attendees.
Clerk or the CAO or the city solicitor, and that's going to be the last question. I'm going to move on.
Well, I have a couple more questions.
I've given you lots of time to talk.
But I need my follow-up questions with how many have been voiced.
Question.
Through you, Your Worship, to Councillor Robinson, I don't have a definitive number that I can offer you. I can tell you that we receive numerous phone calls, emails, comments from the public on a daily basis.
No, I'm asking you about attendees, please, Mrs. Clerk.
I don't have a definitive.
Okay, so we don't have the answer for how many attendees. And my next question was going to be then, are these attendees that are complaining that are feeling that their feelings trump everybody else's rights in this room, how often are they actually in attendance of these meetings? Because I can guarantee you, I can tell you from the complaints that I've seen and who the attendees were, I can tell you how many times they were here last year. Can anyone answer that question for me?
That's going to conclude your time, Councillor. Going to move to the next speaker, Councillor Pickles.
I'm sorry. Personal privilege, please, Mr. Mayor.
Your privilege is?
My privilege is that as a councillor, I have a right to finish asking my questions.
You have, under the procedural bylaw, 5 minutes to speak to a motion.
This is
the chair can give an extra 5 minutes, which I've already done. You're not entitled to any more.
That is for debate. That is not for questions,
These
Mr.
are
Mayor.
not questions.
I just asked 2 questions right now.
You've already entered into debate. Your time's up.
This is a debate. I've asked, you just said Councillor Robinson. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I've followed the operation of this council for over 30 years, maybe 35 years, probably not as long as Councillor Brenner has. Up until recently, we never had a question period. Never had a question period. I was worried that with a question period, it would be abused, quite frankly. What we found is it was never used. Never used. But it could be abused. It was never used. We never had one for over 30 years. I support taking it out. I think it was not, we tried it. Was of no use. Take it out. With respect to filming, likewise, filming wasn't allowed in these chambers or taking photos. And that was really before a lot of people had cell phones anyway, but they had cameras. They used to come up with cameras. Again, that was something that I had seen on these council proceedings for many, many years and decades. We tried allowing it, and I did have a number of people who came to these chambers to express their views. There's a person filming right now. The camera was in their face. People were sort of pursuing them. They felt intimidated. They didn't know how the image would be used. And they came to me and they expressed that view. I didn't have anybody come to me and say, hey, boy, cameras are a good idea. We really should pursue that. And the more, the merrier. So based on my experiences, based on my feedback, I'll be supporting the procedural motion. I think attempts were made, the practice was abused or not used.
It's a public building. I'm sorry. It's a public building.
You don't have the floor. Anyone else wishing to speak to this motion? Councillor Cook.
No, sir. I'm just ensuring that the recorded vote remains on the floor for this.
Thank you. Any other debate? I'm going to call you've already had your opportunity.
I'd like to have a rebuttal.
There's no rebuttal,
I can't
Counselor.
make any clarification.
No,
Oh, okay.
you abuse.
You all see what's
You
happening.
abuse the microphone when you get it. You just did it again.
This
gonna
is
call the
very
question.
authoritative
Order.
of you, Mr.
Order.
Mayor. Very authoritative,
Order.
authoritarian.
Order. All right. We have a motion duly moved, recorded vote requested by Councillor Cook.
Counselor Cook,
Yes.
Counselor Nagy,
Yes.
Counselor Pickles,
Yes.
Counselor Robinson,
No.
Counselor Brenner,
Yes.
Counselor Butt,
Yes.
Mayor Ash.
Yes.
That's carried 6-1.
Yeah. Bylaw 14.5. Moved by Councillor Cook, second by Councillor Brenner. Debate. Questions. Being
Recorded
none,
vote.
I'm going to call the question. Councillor Pickles call the roll, please.
Counselor Pickles,
Yes.
Counselor Robinson,
No, she's looking for the bylaw. It's 14.5 of our agenda.
So I can debate the
No,
bylaw,
the roll's been called.
but this is
The
immediately
roll has
following.
been called. We're in the middle of a vote. There's no debate. You've been asked.
But I put my hand up because
The
I
roll
wanted to find the
has
bylaw.
Been called. It's not allowed to have debate when the roll has been called. So
You-
do you
you-
want to have your voters?
Yes,
Okay.
but Mr. Mayor, you looked at me and
Order.
you said debate,
Order.
and I was looking for the bylaw
And then there
so
was
I
a
could
motion
debate.
To record a vote, I called the roll. Councillor Robinson, do you wish to have your votes put in the record or not?
Well, of course I would.
And it is?
You're eroding the public trust and confidence of this municipality of Pickering, Mr. Mayor.
You're not voting?
Yes, my vote obviously is no,
Okay,
but you
thank
are
you.
eroding public
Thank you.
trust.
We'll continue with the roll.
Counselor Brenner,
Yes.
Counselor Butt,
Yes.
Counselor Cook,
Yes.
Counselor Nagy,
Yes.
Mayor Ash.
Yes.
That's carried 6-1.
Thank you. That means the procedural bylaw has been amended, deleting question period, allowing no filming. So we'll be strict in regards to that, and there'll be no photography and no signs. We want this to be a respectful place